Greetings, land of YouTube. We've got Bitcoin with a failed breakout to the upside of this triangle. If you watched my last video, I was talking about this triangle here. This was a green daily bar on the 7th this morning, actually. It pumped all the way up to 35,100, banged off the top of the triangle, and now is falling down. And do you see this candle and wick? This is the daily chart. This is not good for Bitcoin. If you're a bull, this is a big bearish wick on top. We'll see how this finishes out. There's an hour and a half until this daily candle closes. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know my opinion on what's probably likely to happen here. I think we're dumping down. I've been showing these Wyckoff charts here. I believe the full Wyckoff cycle is going to play out. I could be wrong. It's not something I want to happen. This is just something that I look at this chart and I just think this is happening, right? A simple foot attack right now could drop this thing in a heartbeat. There's a lot of things wrong. I don't want to get into it and call out other YouTubers, but there are YouTubers out there that just, they want the price of Bitcoin to go up. So they just find things to justify what they want, right? As you can see, I've got this triangle drawn in and just a little different place than my last video. If you watch my last video, I had the triangle up on the wicks here. It's not that big of a deal. You can really draw it either place. But what the important part is where the point's at. See, and whether I go to the bottom of the candles or the bottom and tops of the wicks, see, each one of those triangles, the point is actually on the exact same date on the calendar. See that? This is the daily chart. So next candle's the 8th. Next candle's the 9th. And it's unlikely to happen on the 10th. It's unlikely to go just to the very tip like that. It could, but I'm looking at the 8th or the 9th of July here for the breakout. I've been showing this little channel, and also this blue line is the 200-day moving average. As you can see, Bitcoin has been up and down, bouncing in this channel. My opinion is that Bitcoin is going to be breaking down from here. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's some really big YouTube channels that may have bought Bitcoin a really long time ago, and they're probably wealthy right now because of it. And so it's almost their best interest. They don't even really care about anything else. They just want to pump out bullish news about cryptocurrency in general because they've bought cryptocurrency 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? So now I'm a Bitcoin bull. I do believe in 4 or 5 years it could be sitting at $1 million. But that doesn't have anything to do with this right here. This is very weak for Bitcoin. And I'd be a total schmuck if I didn't make videos about what I see, right? I'm not going to have an opinion and try to find things to back up my opinion. I'm going to look at what's in front of my face and have an opinion and talk about it. Obviously, no one can see exactly what's going to happen for sure. So that's why I use the word opinion. Volume is extremely low. Today it's in the red. If you take the length from here to here, I'm using the candle bodies on the daily. It's about 4,500, give or take. And that would put the upside right on smack dab on the 200-day moving average as a target. And to the bottom side, it would be smack dab right here on this channel. If Bitcoin comes down to the bottom of this channel on the daily and spends a little time under 30,000, it's just bad news, man. It's bad news for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's stuck. In my opinion, it's going to take a massive and push. I just want to say this real quick. There's people out there comparing this to the year 2013 when Bitcoin did a double bubble push. But that's the reason that's different now. You can't think of the year 2013 as even being relevant to talk about, because when Bitcoin was up here at 65,000, that was a 1.2 trillion dollar market, right? 1.2 trillion with a T, and it lost $600 billion. In order for, they're talking about Bitcoin, another bullish pump up to 100,000 this year. So 100,000 would be about $2 trillion market cap. 2 trillion with a T. That's 1.35 trillion, give or take a little. from where we're at now. So back in 2013, you know what I mean, you're talking about just one of these daily candles right here is a $10,000 day, right? And you're talking about 2013, the price wasn't even $10,000. So the amount of money it would have to do to copy the year 2013, you're talking about 1.35 trillion from right now today just to go to 100,000. So Bitcoin clearly stalled out February 22nd at 58,000, and that's basically the top of Bitcoin. The next 3 months was just kind of back and forth, you know, and then the Coinbase IPO pumped it up to almost 65,000. But it was generally sitting at 61, 59, 58,000. You know, that Coinbase IPO got a lot of attention, brought in some money, and then it just fell right back down. So 59, 58,000 is, you know, essentially the top. And it lost steam at 58,000, and it never really gained steam. A couple of days, like I said, Coinbase IPO had a lot to do with the all-time high. But it pooped out on February 22nd. Anyone that can't see that is just either biased or they're just lying to you. They don't care about you or all of it. I don't know. I just don't know who can make videos about this being some big pump coming. Now it could come. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would take $600 billion just to get back up here where we were at the top, right? 600 billion. Retail investors and traders need to put $600 billion into it just to get back to where we were, right? And then it would be like another 700 billion to go up and flirt with 100,000. So 1.35 trillion is a big number, right? So anyone saying it's going to be like 2013, you just got to be real leery of people saying that stuff. You know, we're $1.35 trillion by retail investors like you and me. That's a ton of money. And where's all that money going to come from, right? Because the big institutions, the big players, they buy over the counter. Those big $1 billion purchases you hear about, the big whales, they buy over the counter, so it does not affect this market. That price doesn't affect that. The news of it may a little, but it doesn't affect the price of this market. So when you hear about a billionaire buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, that doesn't make this market move at all, right? This market is just retailers. This is the general public. So the general public needs to come up with $1.35 trillion to have anything that even resembles 2013. I don't even think the year 2013, the bull cycle of 2013 Bitcoin, I don't even think people should be talking about it just because of that fact. The money that's involved at this point, it's just different. It's different, right? Bitcoin's not going to hold true to some 2013 pattern of a double bull cycle pump. Not when it takes 1.35 trillion. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Super low volume. And that's a little tiny red volume. And that's basically the shortest it's been all year. And this candle's going to close here pretty quick, about an hour and 15 minutes. There's no one investing. And this market is bleeding money. Since the third week of May, after the big Elon Musk dump, you know, it's this parallel channel shows you the rate at which money is leaving this market, right? That's not a healthy market. I don't want to dog other YouTubers, but the ones that are talking about on-chain metrics and this and that and this is the only thing that matters. This chart right here, the price of Bitcoin is this chart. This chart is the price of Bitcoin. Nothing else matters, right? The news of stuff can make people buy, but this is the market. This only thing that makes the price of Bitcoin go up is when people put money into the market, and money is leaving this market, right? So I'm under the opinion we're going to get a big dumpage coming up here in the next 24, 48 hours. It could break up. If it were to break up, it would probably go to about 39,600 and hit the 200-day moving average and probably come back down. if it were to fall down, it could go to 30. But the thing about it falling down and hitting the target of that triangle is that it might just be it for Bitcoin for this bull run. Maybe later this year it can gain momentum and slowly, when it's a lower price, it will attract big investors and big retailers, and it'll slowly gain momentum and start to push back up. Maybe it does get to 100,000 by the end of this year, but it's not going to pump up from where it's at right now and do it in the next 30 days or 60 days, right? This is a market that anyone with any big investor is going to look at this, and they're not going to want to stick all their money in there. I promise you. So, anyways, sorry for the gloom and the gloom, but I just got to call it how I see it, and that's what I always will. Hopefully later this year I can get back to making rocket to the moon videos, which I like making. But I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, thanks for watching.